they watch them as that.
Yeah,
that's kind of scary. Little girls, zombie boy.
Yeah, no, that's not. They were slow moving. Yeah, we just felt sorry. Yeah, it was really regret.
For that.
They made their choice to be a zombie.
I offered myself up, but I was just hey, what's this panel? Who knows? Luckily, we are all women and that's true. So, welcome to it. I'm glad you're in the right room.
Yeah, we did it.
Oh my gosh.
We would have winged it.
Yeah. Wang it.
We would have wanged it.
We would have wanged it.
Either way.
Yeah. So I guess, should we introduce ourselves? Yeah.
I'm Jamie Marchi. I'm a woman in voice acting. And a writer. I'm also a writer in voice acting.
And you directed.
And a director in voice acting. Yes. And I smile for a selfie.
Jamie's really cute.
I'll take a selfie for you.
Oh, great, thank you. That's not a selfie though, if you took it.
Right. Yes.
Auto cell.
Right. I think we're going to have a challenge with you in raising hands, I think. Yeah. You're going to be a challenge for us. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm BRINA PALENCIA. I also do the acting of the voice.
And the body.
And I do body acting. This is what it looks like when I act on camera. So weird that I haven't cast anything. They don't understand my genius. No. So I do on-camera acting and motion capture, and I also do music directing for anime. And she's a singer. I am a singer, singer-songwriter. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I'm also a woman in anime, and my name is Irrelevant.
That's a lie.
Irrelevant Miller.
Irrelevant, but you can call me Relly.
Right. Oh, that's cute. My name's Amanda Miller, or Amanda C. Miller, because there's a million Amanda Millers.
What does the C stand for?
Celine.
Celine? I love that.
My mom's from France, so she gets all her French middle names.
Why do you go by Celine?
Because if I went by Celine Miller, then people would be like, oh, like Celine Dion.
That's true. You're right. That's true.
There's a French restaurant. They don't name Celine Dion in French.
That's not. I bet she's Canadian.
It's overkill. She's French Canadian.
She's French Canadian. They're not the same thing.
That's true.
But then you can say that anytime somebody calls you.
It's true.
You'd be like, it's French Canadian.
French Canadian is all the time. That's
That's her natural accent.
That's like saying that like French, or that's like saying like British people and American are the same thing.
Right.
That's true. They're very different. They're very different. Anyway, yes, I'm a voice actor. I'm Sailor Jupiter and Sailor Moon Crystal.
Yay!
And you can Google things, I guess.
Well, you have that web series, right?
I do. I have a web series.
Yay!
It's my web series is called Ghosts and Stuff Inc. and it features some other voice actors. So that's like on camera thing.
Yeah.
And I wrote it and I'm in it. It's like,
Yay!
like Parks and Rec.
She's a funny woman. We love her.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
Cool. Yeah. So do we want to just make this a Q&A?
Yeah, we're going to do a Q&A. So you guys in charge of half of the
Yeah, so there's a little mic right there. But it's a normal size mic. It's not tiny or anything. I don't know why I said average mic. It's like, yeah, average size.
It's little to us because we're so
Right.
far.
Yeah. So please line up behind this mic with your questions for us. It doesn't have to be about being a woman in voice acting. You could ask us about our pets.
We can talk about those
for the entire hour.
It's true.
Like, yeah. So this channel doesn't exist unless people talk in this mic. Yeah.
No one has it. There you go.
There you go.
If you want to get in line behind him, feel free.
All right. I kind of have two questions, I guess. The first one is for Amanda Miller, because the other voice actor for Sailor Jupiter is here. And have you got to meet her and talk to her?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, so there's, just because I'm not a time traveler, there was the 90s dub that I grew up watching, that was the deep dub, and so the cast for that is here, and then Viz Media in 2014 redubbed the old version to kind of make it more close to the Japanese, so they didn't cut as much out, and they're not cousins anymore. And then we also did Sailor Moon Crystal, which is just a totally new version. So yeah, we have double Jupiters here, and I met them at SAC Anime, and they're super cool. We just had lunch together in the green room. We were talking about diets and how saturated fat is not as bad for you as everybody says. We were talking about all this.
Butter is my jam.
Yeah, butter, coconut oil.
Coconut oil on all that.
I love coconut oil. It's really
I love it in me and on me.
Is that really just the body work stuff you do? Is that what
Yeah, I go into auditions covered in coconut oil.
greasy Palencia?
That's the gallery.
Yeah, that's true. Because I am racist against breezes.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I guess my second question is. My second question is, how has the industry kind of changed? I think since you ladies started,
Are you implying that we're?
Right, just kind of.
Yeah, we started when we were 5.
Well, I mean, the simul-dub is that's the big change. That's a huge change. You can speak more to that than I can, because you have to do the grading for it.
I do. I have a 2-day turnaround on broadcast that script, so that's 24 minutes of adapting pretty usually stilted translation to maintain character and storytelling while hitting flaps that are previously
And oftentimes making it really funny, which
and also fitting timing into those flaps in 2 days, and it's 24 minutes usually. So it takes, I mean, it's not.
So back in the day, it used to take a week, right?
Yeah. I mean, it would take us a year to get one season of a show done. And recording and mixing and everything, and now we have, it's a 12-week episode, 12-week show, it's done in 12 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a totally different approach. But from the female angle, there are so many more female roles than there are now. When I started, Funimation had 2 shows. One of them was Dragon Ball Z, or 3 shows. One of them was Dragon Ball Z, one of them was Yu Yu Hakusho, and the other, my first show, was Fruits Basket. I'm Lucia Pimentel. Do you think I still push it?
I love that show.
Yeah, that's my very first thing. It's been 15 years. Yeah.
You're basically dead.
Only inside. Yeah, so I mean that has, but definitely that, when you think of those 3 shows, there's a girl and then a whole bunch of girls, and then there's a bunch of guys fighting and then a girl in the middle, and then there's a couple girls and a whole bunch of guys that fight around. So now it's just a totally different world, and the fandom is different. With a lot of female kids that we didn't have.
Yeah, so there's way more like Sakura Quest. Are you in that? That's one that Caitlin is directing, and it's just a total slice of life show, just about girls, and friendship and learning the history of your culture and all that stuff. And it's not fan servicey at all. It's not look at my panties. It's oh, let's really talk about relationships, and it's yeah, it's really cool.
It's very each other's panties in a serious way.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
So
every person I went to in college felt like an after school session.
So right there. That's another good example. That's a really strong female character who
2 really strong female
There's
characters.
a lot of really, it's all strong female characters. But it's such a great example of a healthy relationship too. That just does
boundaries.
Yeah. Not choosing each other and not desperately needing each other. You just help each other out and support one another. It's really cool.
I think also that, you were saying, the fandom's changed in the sense that I wasn't in the industry this long ago, but I remember when I was a kid, and I would watch Sailor Moon growing up. We had, first of all, we barely had the internet, and we we did. It was like one website that was like an Angel Fire or Angel City or like one of those GeoCities or whatever like those old websites were.
Yeah.
And like there was like one website for Sailor Moon, and you're like, I guess there's 10 other bands in the world. Like you didn't know how big the fandom was because there was no way to connect. And now, not only can you like connect online, but you can come to these conventions. You can you can cosplay. It's like it's
When you connect with people in the industry too, like you can actually like tweet it.
Yeah, exactly. It's much more like there's that more immediacy and also realizing the scope of the fandom.
Yeah.
And, I imagine when Fruits Basket started, was there conventions around or like not as many?
I did not go to, I started in 2002, and I did not go to my first convention until 2007.
Yeah, I've heard it blew up within the past like 10 years or so.
Because there were conventions that existed. Because I remember being a fan when I was in like high school and college, and like my friends would go to conventions, but I could never afford it. So like I knew that they were around, but I don't think that voice actors were that big of a deal.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
If you talk to some of the people that were there just a few years before me, and you were there. So,
Yeah, we were.
They'll talk, like Monica Real will talk about it and be like, she was there and she had a voiceover, but nobody cared about the dubbing, it was all subbing. And so she'd have like 2 people in her panel and she'd be like, you guys want to go to the bar? So they would go to the bar and have a panel at the bar, which is still, I think, a great idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, that's totally different too, like, you know, to go from like, as a kid, I thought it was really cool and I love cartoons, of course I love anything animated, but I never thought, oh, that's a job I could have.
Yeah, you don't realize it can be a career.
Yeah. And then, yeah, people say, oh, can you look, if you were like yourself when you were in college, because it's a theater degree, right? Would you have looked and been like, I'm going to be an anime voice actor. I didn't even know it was a thing.
I knew that voice acting was a thing, but I didn't remember that I knew what voice acting was because I was going through one of my old journals for my English class when I was like in 6th grade, I think, and one of the journal entries, like the question of the day was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I wrote that I wanted to be a voice actor. But I don't even remember thinking that. Like I don't even remember thinking that or writing it. So I was like, oh, you're welcome, 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Maybe you had a different career originally, and then you were like really unhappy, so you went back in time to be like Inception yourself.
Yeah. It's like, no, be a voice actor, be a voice actor.
I thought that's what happened.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That means that at some point, I'll be a voice actor.
You did not share that with me, I would never correct you.
When I watched anime when I was in the 90s, there wasn't any a lot.
No, there
weren't
wasn't.
options.
No, and if you wanted to get it, you had to buy it, and those 4 episodes cost $60. Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Have you ever had a real embarrassing or real hilarious moment in the recording booth?
Yes.
I've caused more embarrassing moments than I've had.
I mean, usually embarrassment and hilarity go hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
Go tell it.
Okay, definitely just the worst. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this show, but has anyone ever seen Aquarion?
Yeah.
Yes. So Aquarion is like, it's like a mech show, and when you merge, you have to like make orgasm sounds. So, my brother's an engineer at Funimation. And Tatum was the director. And my brother was the engineer. So the first time that we had to dub a scene like that, like I did it and I could hear everything in my headphones, and then like Gene, like afterward, like I hear Michael say like, okay, can you play that back so that I can hear it though? Because my brother had turned down the sound like completely, and so when Tatum was like, can I hear that though? My brother was like, no, it's fine, it'll be fine. And he was like, but I mean, he's like, no, you don't. We don't need to hear it. We can move on. Everything's fine. So yeah, doing that whole season with my brother was it's real awkward.
Amanda.
I don't really have any good embarrassing ones, so I'm going to share one from one of my classmates. story at con, so it's not like I'm spoiling any secrets. But Christina B had a session once where she accidentally like let out one of those like cute little girly parts in the movie. It was like, and the engineers and like the people in the booth didn't know what it was. So instead, like usually if you know somebody farted, you kind of just like you either just fart, you move on, you like.
That is not true.
Maybe we'll call it out.
I will be like, you farted, it happened. Welcome.
You're not a real voice actor until you farted in the booth.
But yeah, so she did that, and then they were like, wait, hold on, there was a sound, and like they kind of like were flipping it back and forth, trying to like get the sound out. She's like, I could just record it again. They're like, no, it's fine, it's a great take. We don't want to. Let's just, and so she's just like, oh my god, it's like, going back and forth trying to get the sound out. So I feel like I should just tell the story as me, but like Christina's already told it, so then people will be like.
Right. You should say it's something you have to tell them to go find out who it is.
Yeah.
And then you have like a job, like a
research
like tasks. I would say the most embarrassing for me was the first time I did any fighting. And that was in a show called Salty Rape. I played a car. Actually, I wasn't a car, I was a human who was named Integra, which is a car. And she had a lot of fighting. Now, Christopher Sabat, you might know him as freaking Vegeta. No big deal. He was directing, and on that day, he was sick. So he couldn't show me what sort of fighting noises to do.
Oh, like you couldn't, yeah.
Yeah, and if you, like, I didn't grow up playing fighting characters, like my characters talked about their feelings. You know, Shira, she would, beat him up silently because she had a lot of thoughts happening. I don't know. And so I didn't have to do a lot of fight play as a kid. So I didn't really know how to make fight noises. And then there's Christopher Sabat being like, yeah, like you're totally, getting kicked in the chest. That. And I'm like, how does that sound? It was horrible. And I was mortified the entire time. Just like, oh my god, I'm gonna get fired. And then we are working on it, and eventually he's like, no, it's cool. I'll just get someone else to do all the fight noises. And we move on, and I was like, I'm dead inside.
Yeah, you never want to hear that as an actor.
Horrible. So some of those fight noises are not mine. But at the same time, I started doing Witchblade, and then I got fight noises down. I was like, oh, this is fight noises. So for a while, my director was always like, Chris Sabat replaced me because he couldn't show me how to do the fight noises. So it's just me. I've had it worse than any of your fight noises. Yeah. Let's do this.
I find that's true of like a lot of, speaking of women in voice acting, when I directed, I noticed that a lot of women wouldn't know how to do fight noises, and men cannot fake laugh.
Yes.
Because women grow up learning immediately how to fake laugh. That's what we do. So like anytime you have a girl in the booth who's just like, all right, this cue, just laugh for like 10 seconds. Okay, no problem. And then you do a guy, it's like I would have to like trick them. Like I would like make a joke. Yeah, tell them a joke. Yeah, to say boobs right before it. That's
horrible. And to this day, one of those engineers, you know who he is, still doesn't think I can do that. I'm like, it has been like 13 years.
Also, he's really bad about that in general. Like, he still doesn't, like, it's like, he's only ever heard me in like high-pitched characters, and it's like, I do a lot of low-pitched characters, bro. It's like, no, it's not your thing.
Does he just have like a short-term memory? Or like he's already...
It's like he just stopped learning things. Right? He just like learned one thing about you, and it's like, that's you for the rest of our friendship.
Right. Like I'll do a fight noise. He'll be like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. And it's like, well, I've done it at least 78 times for you.
Yeah.
The one time.
It's like every time it's like a surprise. Like, when did you? It's like, bruh.
I'm like psychoanalyzing your engineer in my head. Maybe he's afraid to change. Like me.
Yes. My brother. Exactly right. That's exactly
my little brother, in my head, he will always be 7. When I think about him, when I talk about him, he's still 7. He's like 24. He's like 6'4". But I'm like, no. He's like,
yeah. We had some stories. Remind me to tell you about this time we raped her when she was there. It was hilarious.
okay.
To make up.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
Next.
Voice actors.
Yes.
Well, women voice actors and men actors. Are you a tightly knit group? Do you all tend to know each other, like between anime, like say something in video games or wherever the voice acting might be? Do you all tend to know each other along the way through social media or through work or production companies you work for?
Yes.
Conventions. It's usually through conventions that we get to know each other because we don't record together. Right. So there are people that like in Fairy Tale, Juvia is obsessed with Gray. I have said 2 words to that actual voice actor in my entire life to him. Maybe 3. No, 4. Nice to meet you. That's it. Like we've never had a conversation. I don't know. I don't even. Well, I probably recognize him if I saw him again. But yeah, like so a lot of times we don't hang out at all because he doesn't do conventions.
Right.
So, like,
yeah.
I don't really know.
Well, I'm like, I mean, you work in LA, I don't work in LA.
Yeah, we interacted first like over Twitter, but like we met for the first time like recently. Like,
Just last year, I think. And, I mean, I'd heard from BRINA that I would love you when she was running. But yeah, people wanted us to hate each other. Which is fine.
People like to pit people against each other when there's multiple voice actors playing a certain part. So like, you know, like with the Sailor Jupiter thing, I always make it very clear, like, I love Susan Roman, she's fantastic. There's no like, well, I'm gonna meet her outside, you know? So for...
we should do that though, we should be like, oh, I hate her.
We should start a Twitter board, just like laugh. Be like, look what this person said.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we both voiced Junko and Ashima so I voiced her in the video game, and then they did the dub in Funimation in Texas, so it's 2 different cities, and so people were kind of be like, I don't
really want us to hate each other.
I don't understand why people tag voice actors and stuff, and they're like, what do you think about this? I don't like this person. It's this, like, cool, don't tag them.
Please don't insult other voice actors when you're tweeting at me, ever. Like, just,
right. What do you get?
Yeah.
Do you want me to say,
like, I'm not gonna agree with you.
Right. And then I'll say something and get in trouble.
Yeah.
I do that.
Where you like call them out and be like, that's rude?
Yeah, I do. And then I get in trouble for it.
Well,
Then
because it's true. It's rude. So yeah, it's
what
rude.
I
Don't do
say.
that.
But I guess I can.
If you're gonna talk smack about people on Twitter, just don't tweet at them, or don't use these hashtags.
Or why talk smack? It's positive.
Yeah. Go do anything else.
Where?
Oh wait, no, I think I should make that.
Now, BRINA and I met way back in the day because we did Walla together.
Yeah.
With Trina and Shimura. It was usually the 3 of us. For like 2 years straight.
Yeah.
We did Walla regularly
together.
Walla's like background voices.
Yeah, so like when you see like the character walking through a marketplace and you hear like muttering in the background of like, how much are your apples? Kind of thing.
Right, yeah, you hear that in the background. So they usually have 3 or 4 actors in the booth at the same time, just kind of talking.
Yeah, like improvising like what I would do in a marketplace.
Right, but by the end, like, after a while, it just ended up being like, something's cool, like what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
no matter what was happening,
We're just like talking about.
we just be talking.
Oh, that's another thing about women in voice acting. Whenever I would direct Walla sessions, I loved directing women because women were so much better at just improvising, talking about whatever for like a minute-long take. Whereas like, yeah, with men it would be like they would go for 5 seconds and then silence. It's like I need you guys to keep talking. Yeah, okay, okay. So I would have to like come up with like ideas for them to like continue talking because they just
Do Walla too, they try to out-funny each other, which is always weird because none of them inevitably are funny. That always happens too. It's like, just because you're louder doesn't make you funnier, guys.
And also, the characters that you're trying to play are currently in a church. You wouldn't be screaming.
So there's just all kinds of ways. Sometimes in the booth, but very rarely. Just up at the studio, you know.
Yeah, sometimes
walking
we
in
each
and out
other's
of
houses.
Yeah. And then
Like a lot of times, like the director will be like, "Oh, you guys should meet because you're the same
if
thing."
you see names, you'll recognize names and be like, oh, who is this person? And then,
Yeah.
yeah.
But usually, where we actually get to know each other.
Because we hang out, but because we hang out and get drunk together.
Yeah.
It's constrictions. It's the way you guys get to know each other.
Right.
Hello.
I love your hair.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say.
Thank you. First of all, love the solidarity. It's so awesome to see women in an industry that have solidarity because there's some industries where there isn't solidarity and you see them tearing each other down and it's just kind of sucky. But anyways, my question has 3 parts if that's okay. First part is, what are some disadvantages, or dare I say inequalities, that you face? For example, you mentioned how in the very beginning when you started, there was just less female roles, and there was just not enough. Another thing you mentioned was, sorry, I'm blanking out, but can you think of any?
I would say very rarely are men required to orgasm on cue. Yeah. They're not normally turned on by fighting. They're not normally turned on by, like, they don't have sexy breaths when they turn their head. That is an inequality. Now, I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me, but it's certainly not balanced. Yeah. Is there anything? That's just like the first thing that comes to mind.
There's definitely some stuff. Also just the fact that, like, women have to sound like babies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't work as much in anime. When I do, it tends to be like, you know, luckily there's characters like Sailor Jupiter or whatever, but she's kind of like the tomboy. And then like Boruto, like I tend to play like boys because they can't fathom the fact that a woman can have like a register of her voice that's not like, oh my gosh, guys, I'm a high school student. I talk like this. And it's like they don't all sound like idiots.
No, that's my natural speaking voice. I get it. You know what's funny though, in like, just like with the commercial stuff, because like, in anime land, I have an older voice. I have one of the lower voices. So then I go out into the real world, and they're like, oh, you have such a cute voice. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Oh, right, I do have a younger voice.
In real life, yeah. And like, so like, I can never play like a mom in a commercial yet. Like whenever I get that copy, they're like, you sound like you're like a teenager or like a like young 20s or whatever. But then in anime, they always have me playing moms. Like I got recast in an anime where I was like the lead, and they're like, you sound too old. So they put me as like another character who was like a mother of twins, and I'm just like,
yeah. Well, I think it's also a cultural difference too, because like if you look at like Western cartoons and you see who's playing the teenage kids, they're actual teenagers who have extremely low voices a lot of times, and like. Yeah, so it's a weird cultural difference because, because in Japan, everyone's voice tends to be a little bit higher.
I'm curious if that's like natural or if that's like a culturally expected thing, so women pitch their voices up there, so now it's...
I mean, it is. In my experience when I've been in Japan, it like, the women do just kind of talk that way, but also women are kind of expected to be much earlier.
Right, like there's more of an...
Yeah, it's like more of an expectation. Of being cute and girly, so I don't know if it's like just for the long. I'm sure it's natural for a lot of them.
Yeah, most of them. I was taught to be more cute.
Really?
So it's either.
Yeah.
I also find that there's, at least in video games, there's still some inequality in the number of roles. Because like, I believe there's more female actresses out there than male actors. There's way more male parts. Male parts.
We laugh too, so
that's how you get them to laugh on the wall. Anyway, sorry, the children here should stop doing that.
Haven't stopped us.
My voiceover agent told me that, like, you know, so for every one female role she'll get for a video game, like when they send out auditions, every one female role there'll be 10 male roles. For video, that's just how it is still. So there is still not as many opportunities for women. So it's harder to get in, and then a lot of agencies don't take on new female clients as many. Like they'll take on more men because there's always roles for men, but they don't take on as many women. They're much more selective because they're like, there's just not enough work, so they want to be able to serve the clients they have. And also, this is just what I've heard from some other people because I don't know anything about things, but. For conventions, I've also heard that a lot of times the male guests will get offered more than the female guests.
I was like, bring that up. But that is the fandom. Because, you know, like you have Monica Rial, who's like, had more anime voice roles than any woman on the planet.
Yeah, like more than any Japanese seiyuu, more than anyone. Yeah, she literally has had the most.
If you put her next to like Vic Mignogna, who's great, don't get me wrong, but like name 10 of his top, right? You can't. And he will always have a crazier, longer line. There is something about the fandom, and sadly, a lot of it is women that flock to the men, and ignore the women that are playing these roles.
It's true.
So because of that, conventions will be like, oh, well, we want these people to come, even though there are a ton of ladies that have more roles that are stronger and, to be perfectly honest, better characters that don't get the same opportunity because of that.
I've even heard people say like, oh yeah, like a woman will like be invited to a con and they're like, oh, we can only offer you like this much. And then, but then she'll talk to a guy friend, they're like, yeah, no, they right out the gate offered me like double the price that they told her they couldn't pay her.
Yeah.
Like just a big discrepancy. So the way that is definitely real.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, yeah, I guess the last thing with all that is just that I think I play a lot of male roles as well, and the difference is that the male roles are so much more thought out. Like they have so much more depth, they have so much more history, like they took the time to really flesh out this character. And then my female roles have a tendency, and there are exceptions for sure, Shiriki, Snow White with red hair, Juliet, Romeo's Juliet, like there are exceptions, but for the most part, it's just like, I'm a hot girl, I'm gonna bounce a dude, like, like, and there's no thought put into why she would be that way.
It is getting better.
Yeah, it's for sure getting better. But yeah, there's exceptions to that.
So it's just a couple. Well, it's your
That was just part one, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got a few other people.
Okay. Yeah, well, then.
Yeah, go to the end, like, no, your second here. That was a good question. Yes. No pressure.
So out of all the anime roles you guys have done, what is your favorite, funniest line you can never get out of your head?
I have one. I said it yesterday.
I mean, I have a couple.
Mine is Tamama in Sergeant Frog.
Oh, yay.
And it never will leave my head because it was my, so we have like reference lines. Oh, I have a new one too. Okay, so I'll do Tamama's and then I'll do Minetta's. So Tamama's is,
Hey everybody, guess what? I think I have diabetes.
and with Minetta in My Hero Academia, my reference line for him is,
So, I got these sticky balls.
I have a few when we have children. So I'll just self-lead them out, I guess. Okay, so my favorite that I ever wrote is in Painting Stocking, but Monica Stocking said it. And it was, you keep talking, but all I hear is syphilis. And then Cockadoodle Night. And that's one. And Repent Mother is another one. And then, so what happens if I accidentally eat the janitor? That was from Shin-Chan.
I feel like the most big career in your head is like, what was the word actually?
No, it is the word.
Especially for painting.
oh, the last one I actually did. Yeah, right,
Anyway, for me, it's not an anime, but it's Japanese, so it's for the Danganronpa video game. For Toko, she has a line that's like, "Stop trying to pull me further into your meat dimension." I don't really remember the context. It's just
So I was just curious, out of all the characters you've done so far, which one do you maybe connect with the most, or which one made you go, wow, I love what I do just because I got to play this character, you know, something like that?
I already know mine. Seal Phantom Hive is by far my favorite character. Because he has so much depth. Again, my male character, of course. So much depth, has gone through so much, and I get to do an English accent. That's pretty dope. And dope.
So you guys have worked for
Yeah, J. Michael Tatum, my work husband. And then the two characters that are most like me, that just mean a lot to me, that it would be Natsuki in Summer Wars, and Maho and Beck.
I just did a Celine Miller. It would sound like Like if I did that thing, it wouldn't work as well because it would just sound like you're saying, oh, it's a Celine Miller, like one of many.
A Celine.
My favorite, I'm biased, but it's like Sailor Jupiter because when I grew up, she was my favorite character and I related to her a lot. But she's also, I was like 5'5" or 5'6" in 4th grade. Like I went through puberty and just was like,
I did the opposite. I did puberty and went,
move out of my way. But yes, puberty's real fun for girls, especially because we go through it sooner and everything.
and you're like, where did that come from?
But yeah, so I grew up and I was like much taller than everyone, and so I was kind of like awkward and all that. And then I also liked to play soccer and I played hockey. But so that they're like, oh, she's like a dude, and they always like make fun of me and call me like a boy. But at the same time, I'm like, but I also like, ice skating and I like, boys. And I like Sailor Moon. And so it's like so Sailor Jupiter kind of has that like the duality of the masculinity and the femininity, and she embraces them both, and that was really cool for me to see growing up. So being able to voice her is super chill. Super chill.
Okay, so like one that I was like, this is really cool to be me. Junko, because that's all these different personalities. That's amazing. That's super fun. And to be chosen to be a character that has all the personalities is very complimentary. I got to meet some really cool people at Switchblade, so that was fun. As far as being like the most like me in Tokyo Cool,
Just at school.
Just at school. I'm a bartender, the redheaded bartender. Her name is something like that. It's not in a whole lot, but it is just me. Like if I was a ghoul, that would be me.
That's kind of Toka for me too.
Yeah, really? Yeah.
Whenever I was, Mike had asked me to watch some of it because I had to direct myself in LA for part of it. And I was watching it and my husband walked by and he just looked at the screen for like 2 seconds and he was like, you the purple hair one? And I was like, yeah. He was like, makes sense.
Yeah. Just like, be yourself. And I was like, okay. And then Monica wrote it and she's like, oh good, I wrote that for you. Like, perfect, it all worked out accordingly. So yeah.
Oh, and BRINA, could I hear you do chopper just once?
Yeah, okay, hi everybody!
No, sometimes people's favorites, they're like, can you do that? And they're like, yeah. And it's like, it's so nice.
Alright, so in most live-action film industries, whenever you reach 30, 40, and up, and with female goals, they mostly just phase you out, and you don't really get the elder female perspective in most live-action films. So we see that in voice acting, and what can we do to change the industry to allow an elderly female population to heighten?
Defined as elderly, and do we need to fight?
I think that the cool thing about voice acting is that even when you're older, like in your 30s,
Like me.
40s, and 50s, like you can still
I'm
play.
75, you guys.
Yeah, she looks really good for her age.
You can still play
Wait,
younger. But what would be awesome is if they actually had meaningful characters that were older, because I feel like you see that. Well, in anime, I feel like it's all teenagers all the time. But like I know with film, especially, you see older men all the time, and like they still exist after 40. And like with women, it's just like, oh, they're just dead. Like women they just die at 40, and there's like nothing else.
We keep them in a basement in
Yeah.
Hollywood somewhere. Like, all right, come on in.
Unless you're here in Helen Mirren, and then everyone still wants
You still have to look hot in a bikini. If
Yeah.
you still have hot in a bikini, they'll keep you around.
Yeah, then you'll.
Or if you're dating Judi Dench, because would you try to like ferret her into a little box, she'd probably bite you. Me too. I had a dream that Judi Dench. Were they all violent? Because I thought that Judi Dench beat the crap out of me behind a McDonald's with brass knuckles in my dream. Because it was around the time it was like Doctor Who, where they had it was like David Tennant. Okay, so in mine, she wanted to be the next companion for Doctor Who. That would be amazing! I think it was after Rose left, and so in my head, I guess my dream was like, hey, you could be it. So in my dream, I was with David Tennant at a McDonald's.
David Tennant was like, no, you
And Judi
can't.
Dench was like, oh, can you come outside, please? And I was like, sure, Judi Dench, she beat the crap out of me. And then she became the companion, so that was my Judi Dench.
I can't remember it specifically. She was very nice.
Mine was that she was in a play bloody in the corner.
Right. She's like, oh, what is it?
You.
What was the original question? Or did you do that?
Oh,
old women.
All right. How do we get? Oh, we only have 4 minutes. Okay, we'll just speed through everybody else. Yeah, so it's up to the creators. If you want to write, you gotta create it. You gotta write it. Right. And at least we're turning that way. Okay, go next.
Hi there. First, I do appreciate dubbings and being blind.
Thank you. Oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah. I have a question for Amanda Miller.
Hi.
How does it feel to be Sailor Jupiter right now?
It's pretty incredible because I grew up watching that. And I would run around my backyard with my sister playing Sailor Jupiter and be like, Jupiter, so it's like so funny to actually be in there. And like since we redubbed the old version and did the new one,
yes.
Looking at the old footage was crazy because it's like literally the stuff I watched growing up, and I'm like, what? I remember this scene in my backyard. And so it's really weird.
Yeah.
But awesome.
I know the feeling because I watched the redub and. Trust me, I almost burst into tears being like, I remember this so much.
Aww, well thank you for watching.
No problem.
Next question.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for all your contributions to the anime community, because all your voice acting is on point.
Thank you.
And this question is for Amanda. There's a Nintendo series called Fire Emblem. I think you heard of it.
Yeah.
How does it feel being part of the game Awakening to help re-spark the popularity of the series in the
It's
West?
so crazy because when that was the first video game I did, I voiced Sully and Chersh, I like to pronounce it, in the Fire Emblem Awakening thing, but I didn't know at the time that they'd used code names. I think it was called Brave or something. Like, it was just like, and so I didn't know until like a year later when it came out that it was like a big deal. So it's really cool because apparently, like you said, it reawoken revitalized the series, and now there's a bunch of there's just been. So I mean, I can't take credit because I didn't come up with the series.
You can totally take credit. We can give her credit, right?
Yeah. Totally. You're welcome. You're welcome. I did write it.
If not for you.
Right.
Yeah. I'll give you full credit on this.
But thank you.
First of all, I'd also like to say thank you for all your contributions. I'm what you would call a major otaku. This question is for all of you. When doing the voice dubbings, how do you go about determining just what kind of voice to use for specific characters?
I go by whichever one I think the fans are going to get the most.
Right.
Yeah. Stick with that.
What if people really hate? That's what I'm doing.
It's usually a collaboration. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just one more for.
Oh no, that was not real.
When you were doing the dub voice for Chopper on One Piece, where did you get the inspiration for the voice that you use? Since it's such a high-pitched one, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah. It turns out the Japanese seiyuu of Chopper is the same seiyuu as Pikachu. And I was obsessed with Pikachu whenever I was younger, and so I basically just
emulated Pikachu.
Yeah,
awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Last question.
Alright, I'm making sure to speak in English for that time.
No, just make it really good.
Alright, being voice actors, is there any project that you wish you could have been a part of, or think you really could have contributed a lot to, past, present, or anything?
All of them.
Everyone would have been better.
All of them.
Yeah. Also, had we been able to do all of them, we would have so much more money.
Yeah. That's the thing with being an actor is that if you can't handle rejection, the entire life of an actor, I don't care how famous you get, there is nothing but rejection unless you become like Brad Pitt. Like, you will have nothing but rejection.
And then he got rejected by his own wife. I burned him. Yeah. That's 2 rejections now, Brad.
Like, first it was Angelina, but now
Jamie.
But truly, we auditioned for literally hundreds of more shows than we are on. Like, for every 500 shows we audition for, we might get between 1 and 5 of them, maybe. Yeah. Like, it's not. you can't let it, like if you're the type of person that's gonna hold on to that, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah.
You gotta just let go.
Yeah, and what happens, especially in voice acting, is because we audition for so much, if you find out that someone you know got that role, you're actually really happy for that person.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I wouldn't want to take that role from that person.
Exactly.
Because there's plenty, well, almost plenty to go around, but, you know, so it's this weird, like, I mean, and also, how greedy would we be?
Yeah.
Because we're all really, really lucky and blessed to be where we are.
Yeah.
It seems great to be like, well, I wish I could that. But I wish I would have this one now. Right.
I mean, I would have liked to have been a Usna, but I can say that because I don't know any of these people. From the